And we're live.
I'm glad you didn't say the other thing I was about to say.
Oh, well done. Happy Tuesday.
Well, yeah, I would be seeing you next Tuesday, certainly.
I would hope so. Otherwise, I'll stop working. Frankly, I lied.
Well, we're all a bit giggly, and we haven't even got to the nub of the matter, have we?
I know, it's a good start.
I've got my very grown-up glass.
A very grown-up.
I have a cocktail glass. Because I don't have any.
I'm going to be even more classy and drink either out of a pint glass or out of a bottle because I am a classy person.
I thought about just using my beaker, but I thought if you're watering it already, that would be a terrible waste of water.
I won't tell you mine's a bespoke handmade Austrian Burgundy tasting glass. If I get tiddly and knock it over, I'm 60 quid down the side.
Well, I don't think so.
Pound shop.
No, mine's one of a collection of glasses that I nicked from a hotel I worked at when I was 18. So.
Yeah, going live.
I have got wine glasses downstairs. I just forgot to get one.
I chose pint glass instead. No, I think that represents our class and quality well.
Yes, we have a nice mixture here of.
There's nothing wrong at all with a bottle of fizzy and a couple of straws.
Well, so I almost got a curly straw, but I couldn't find them. I know we got some that are like glasses, but they're locked somewhere in the house. And it ruins the taste of anything that you drink through it. Because they're impossible. Well, you can't clean them properly after you drink milkshake with them, so it's not good.
So why are we in this jolly mood then?
Why are we?
It's because it's publication day.
Yay!
This mad project that we started back in January, February last year that slowly built in secret to some part, certainly hidden away from public gaze for the most part, to obviously not just publish those two, but every month publish the very best in new adventures from the wacky worlds of Asmodee, Marvel, and beyond. And an awful lot of beyonds, driven by the contracts we're signing this week as well. But we'll talk about those another day. But kicking off with these books, particularly since we were due to kick off in the spring and something or other got in the way to delay them, it's felt a bit like, haven't we done this already? But of course, we realised we haven't. The books have, for the most part, stayed securely in their warehouse. Just a few snuck out to distant climes. But today, officially, the books are on sale. They released from the warehouse a couple of weeks ago, and those who've ordered so far have obviously put them on shelves or are about to, and with many more to go. They're officially also on sale, I'm guessing, as ebooks for the world, of course. So although we talk about US publication being today actually for ebooks anywhere where you are, it is launch day. A day doesn't sound quite right, does it? No.
I guess B day. I guess we've already kind of used.
Yeah, B day is what you wash your ass.
Book day. Well, only if you're especially classy. I think we've established a level of class.
Well,
I guess it could be E day, couldn't it, for the rest of the world? That sounds quite good.
So they are heading out. It'd be wonderful to hear from folks if anyone's seen them in the wild.
Yes, if you have seen them in the wild, please take photos of them. We have a giveaway that's going to be starting later on as well, so keep an eye out on our social medias for more information about that. But it does involve finding the books, buying the books, taking the cool pictures of the books. So do that.
Those all sound like very natural things.
It does. Then I think if you do all that thing with the books, we give you more books.
Oh yes, we give you so many new books. We're going to give you all of the books we published in 2020.
That's quite a lot of books.
It is right. What are we thinking? The postage alone is going to be, well, it might be cheaper to fly over and deliver to them to some folks. That amount.
That's true, but it fits with the level of excitement. This, as you said, this has only been working on for ages. It's been delayed for ages, and it feels really both delightful and weird that it's finally come to fruition. Now we have proper paper.
Very true. We in publishing, we live in so many different time zones. Obviously we're all living in the past because we're all getting older and becoming more nostalgic. Certainly old buggers like me. But Then we live in the present, which is getting November's and December's books after the printer's back from the printers, marketed, promoted, and so on and so forth. Then we're living in the spring, which we've just announced internally, and the sales teams are after information there. And then we're living in the summer, which is where editorially we're developing them, the finalising those. And then, of course, we live in the autumn and winter, where we're commissioning books, contracting for some of those at the moment as well. On top of the various new projects we're working on as well for further IPs joining us. So I couldn't work out how many different clocks we should really have on and calendars on the walls of our office. Not to mention, we work with colleagues in Hollywood and Minneapolis and the East Coast of the US, and ever further afield. So no wonder we feel jet lagged half the time.
It is very confusing. I mean, 2020 removed all sense of time anyway, and this really isn't helping. All of these things happen now, in the future, and the past simultaneously.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even live in 2020 anymore.
Yeah,
no one wants to. This is the only reason to stay in 2020, because books like this are coming out.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing them in shops.
I'm looking forward to seeing the gap in shops where they used to be.
Ooh. That's certainly a very convenient way to look at those gaps in shops.
Oh, these were all
super reassuring.
Yesterday you saw it in the shop, I think.
Shake that bookcase over. Many sold books.
Of course, for those in the gang who don't know, it is perfectly allowed, and store staff don't mind if you say move a big part of promoted titles and put the Aconite 2 that they've ordered both face out and with particular stickers, shelf barkers, 3-for-2 stickers on promoted title flashes and all that sort of stuff. That's all valid.
That's true. If you see one of those tables of books, just sweep them all off. I love that.
And if you have a little pull-up banner with the Aconite logo on to put behind the ones that you start moving over, that's fine. Don't sign them unless you are Josh Reynolds or one of the many amazing contributors to Tales from the Crucible, without at least mentioning to staff in the store your delusion that you are Charlotte Llewellyn Wells or Josh Reynolds.
In which case, welcome to the Crucible, because I mean, in the Crucible, all possible things are real. So you could well be the author of one of those stories if your author happens to be on the Crucible.
Does this mean that I should just go around bookshops in the UK like next month and just like randomly sign books and just like?
I think I was saying don't, in fact, but perhaps I wasn't.
By all means, a bookshop will be like, "This is me. Can I sign this?" They'll be like, "Yeah, do it."
Yeah. Look at the picture. Clearly me. I can go and sign those. That's all good.
If you wear a red dress and carry a pistol.
I'm really close. I think I'm halfway there. I need a fancier necklace.
Yeah, shave those legs as well, dude.
No, I don't know. They're pretty silky.
They probably wear like stockings on anyway, so you could get away with it.
That's true. I can work this. I'll find out what we listed on the art brief for her legs. Maybe they were just mine as a reference, and it's all good.
You also just need like a giant bag that you can hit people with, and that's fine. I think you have like a giant bag that you can hit people with.
That's true. One normally I'd use a rucksack as a way of getting through crowds, but yeah, a handbag looks pretty solid. Get into that.
Yeah.
Should we talk about the books? Maybe we should do that.
Oh, I think that's good.
The mysteries of what they were.
Can
we eat cake whilst we talk?
Actually, before we do that, I think we should have a little toast. Not toast, but yes. Even though we are all far apart across the four corners, at least of Nottingham, the Queen of the Midlands, we have all got little bottles of hopefully chilled. I've certainly chilled mine.
I chilled mine. How does that work?
Rooftop. I don't know. Okay, all right.
That's not a cork. It's a screw top because it's open in your little lonely garage with this perfectly formed.
Just punched a hole in my gazebo.
And obviously, doing this on an airplane is a lot less dangerous than having a cork whizzing about.
That makes sense.
But a lot less fun.
That's very true.
Oh, I think Vince is just trying to join us, but foolishly on Facebook Live. Let me send him a message.
Yes. Come on, Vince. He's trying to get invited. Cool.
And that's the real dilemma of the modern era, isn't it? Like, no one knows what video conferencing software they're using anymore. It could be almost anything.
Well, while we wait for our American colleague to join us. Ooh, smells okay.
Smells
And
like
they
food.
make you wait until the bride and groom are ready, you see. Now, obviously, although there are rumours about publishing being rife with long lunches and drunken stuff, we've had to do this separately in our own garrets for the last few months. So it's not the same as traditional publishing, I guess, in a way. But today we can do it officially, at least.
Then we can go to the Lion next month and go have a drink together in the garden.
Yes, soon. I was going to spill some of it. I realised I was overexcited and was spilling it on my keyboard. Which is already taking quite a profound amount of coffee to it in the last couple of weeks. It probably doesn't need fizzy things into it too. I have no idea whether Vince has seen that.
I'm just waiting for him to connect his camera.
Oh, is he? Splendid.
On the way in. Lovely to see Vince, our American colleague, who hasn't joined us for one of these. I don't like that headline says they're out now to buy in the USA, because they're out now to buy everywhere, as long as you like an ebook.
Well, yeah.
I forgot that their ebooks are out everywhere.
You should have put a really long caveat in brackets after it. They're out everywhere, except in the places that they're not yet, except in one format, but not the other one yet, but soon. And then everywhere it'll be available. If you watch this late, they're available everywhere.
However, if you're watching today, you may or may not be able to, depending on what you want and where you live.
And how good your bookshop is. It's a good standard. It's a good standard to measure your bookshop by, really. If they don't have these books, not so great, huh?
Well, if they don't have it, then you're definitely buying the ebook wherever you are.
It's true. You can always
just go in and ask them to order it. Like, you could also do that. It's allowed. Booksellers like it when you talk to them, actually.
Oh, not just rearrange their books for them.
Not just rearrange their books for them.
Remember to talk to
I have a feeling the booksellers don't like it when you do that. Like, given Angeli's face earlier, which is just like...
I'm very confused, because we said it was okay to move books and to talk to booksellers. Now, either both of those are true or neither is true. You got to choose, Angeli. It's one of them.
Leave us alone and don't touch our books.
Whatever you do, don't buy them, because it ruins the display.
That's true. That can be worth it.
Vince! We are 5.
Welcome.
Yay!
Oh, with mugs. See, Lottie, you can get classier.
Yeah, see.
Welcome, our Vince. So we've just poured out our fizzy coffee substitutes. We held off from drinking any of it because we're going to do a toast to the success of everyone. And I'm glad the first shot we had of you was you glugging the very last of it. Barely but this is how we roll. So to the Good Ship Aconite, to launch day for our books. Anywhere in the world you can get these today. Don't worry about that bookstore stuff. Just buy the ebook if you can't get the book. And then you can buy the physical when it turns up too. Double the sale. Hurrah. But in celebration of a wondrous team of Aconites and Acolytes, and to all who support us and all who've worked, really absolutely worked their socks off to get us to this point. And we'll have many, many more silly days like this in future as we produce amazing books, entertain folk, and generally produce great things. So cheers to all Aconite. Aconite.
Cheers.
Aconite.
Clink, clink, clink.
That worked well.
Much needed.
Yeah.
Yes, Nick, we can talk about books now if you want.
I'm mostly interested in talking about how we should be drinking alcohol in the gardens most afternoons instead of working, but I guess we can switch topic if you really want to.
Do alongside it.
If we want.
Mostly, we can do all these things at once, plus we have food. What are you going to do first? Rafanakai?
By all means, let us introduce.
I still cannot get the hang of this mirrored or non-mirrored screen. That's driving me crazy.
You don't do enough streaming. For me, this is like just normal. Like I'm like, oh yeah.
I guess so. I'm alright with Zoom.
Well volunteered.
That is true. So first, we have the Rafanakai, our first Arkham horror novel. This is a tale of cosmic terror, thrills, and dread with our ace adventuress in 1920s Massachusetts. Lottie, you edited this. You probably have things to say about it.
I do. It's awesome. Go buy it.
I'm only on chapter 5. Don't spoil it for me.
Just don't read the final chapter out loud.
So this is the first of our Arkham books written by the wonderful Josh Reynolds, and it is the story of Countess Alessandra Zorzi, who comes to Arkham for the first time. She is an international adventuress and thief. She has a sort of business procuring artifacts and interesting things for her clients from across the world, and she's come to Arkham to kind of escape a little bit of trouble in Europe that she may have found herself in, because she has been hired to steal a mysterious mummy that is on display in Arkham for sort of her mysterious client. And we meet her as she comes into Arkham for the first time, and we kind of follow her adventures from there, because things don't really go according to plan. It's really fast-paced and fun. I absolutely loved working on this book with Josh. Alessandra is one of my favorite heroines. She's funny, she's sassy, she's really clever and smart. And we get some great other characters, including you. If you are familiar with the game of Arkham, you may find you recognize some of the cameos and characters and the people that Alessandra comes into contact with. Yeah, I mean, I adore this book, and I love Alessandra so much, and it's got, you know, a great ending as well, which I won't spoil for Angelica or for anybody else, obviously. So yeah,
spoil it. Tell us everything.
Spoil it for Angelica later, but not everybody else.
Yeah. And I absolutely adore this cover as well, because it just feels so pulpy and perfect for art.
The artwork of the wonderful Daniel Strange.
Yes.
Who we've worked with before and are working with again. Have we shown up his other cover? Maybe. I've lost track.
Yeah.
Matthew Silver, yes, which we'll see on the day that it releases, I guess. And it exists in the world already. Thank you, Lottie. Yeah, it's a great book. You'll like it. If not, love it. Also,
can you tell us a bit more about the design aesthetic on the covers? So I believe you kind of look like pulp novels, as it were.
Yeah, we had a good think about it. There's the coolest things from the 1930s. In America, there's a lot of very cool style going on, and you and I are both fans of a lot of the old monster classics and the pulp movies. It seemed like a very fun thing to replicate some bits of that, including the titling, which is a lot of fun to put together. But for Dan, yeah, we wanted gigantic monster, tiny hero, doom, terror, dread, all of those things combined. He's done a really nice job of it. A little hint of Arkham behind it. It's got a really nice spooky vibe about it. I think this could easily have been one of the Universal horror movie posters. Maybe it should be again. Maybe we should do more of them like that.
And all packaged up with fake creases. I can see scratches and stuff. Hopefully no one goes, oh, that's a used copy. Where can I get a new one?
But they can try to raise them. That would be lovely. If anyone wants to colour in their copy so it looks like it's brand new, please send us a copy of that. That would be awesome. That's a great challenge.
The risky always is we resisted the temptation to put a price sticker, saying 15 cents or something. Because sooner or later that backfires on you most tremendously.
I think you allow people one.
Next one of these, we have a movie poster. We have a pulp magazine, a design plan for another thing further out, and so on and so forth. So we'll be pursuing this aesthetic across a bunch of different artifacts.
Yeah, it's a pretty rich subject matter to play with. You get some proper hard-boiled novels in there as well. Book 2, or more to say about Rathanakai? Anyone else want to chip in?
Well, let's talk a bit about the author, Josh. We know and love Josh from his work with Black Library and his original suspense and paranormal and horror fiction. He's absolutely a fount of wisdom, knowledge, and trivia, mostly trivia, to be honest, about the depths of pulp action and obscure horror movies and amazing, unlauded but semi-forgotten horror authors of this time.
Yeah.
And a lot of that atmosphere seeps through into his writing. He knows of which he writes, even though he's writing in the modern world or from a position here. He's very, very strong on his action, and he plainly is tremendous at capturing characters across various genders and ages and cultures. Because this is just
Nope.
I was just going to say, it's an absolute riveting read from an author who knows exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, Josh has such good attention to detail. I know he said that he would have done a very long research thing about some of the details, like about radios in cabs. Whether that got used or not, he has such this great attention to detail. And I remember when he first pitched this novel to us, and because it was a thing, in the early 1900s, people would put mummies on display, and you would have, they still do, but also they would have, all of these conventions around mummies and other things, and he would just came up with this idea, and he pitched Alessandra as a character, and I was like, we were like, yes, we really, really want to read this book, and ever since then, he just absolutely brought it to life and brought the world of Arkham to life, and I'm so glad it's our first Arkham novel, because it's just such a great introduction to the world and to Arkham horror.
It's got a great noir feel to it, and the details of it, as you say, it's almost like a universal horror movie, the way that reads. It was a very, very good read.
It's lovely, isn't it? It really feels like it's set in Arkham. I mean, part of that's using some of the locations, but you could absolutely see this chasing across the board, being pursued by some unmentionable nightmare. Yeah.
I mean, as long as it's not being played by us, because if it was being played by us, then everybody would be dead.
Yes.
True. I haven't yet won any game of Arkham Horror that I've played. Which feels kind of, accurate to the world. Yeah. It feels like it's the right outcome.
Success is only been measured by how long you hang on for by your white-knuckled fingertips.
And is this not a metaphor for life itself?
Yeah,
exactly. Well, I still remember our first game of Arkham Horror when we first played it, and we were like, yeah, we totally have a handle on this at the beginning, and then 2 turns later, we were like, wow, we're all going to die.
Well, as Nick said, it ain't that like life.
I think I need to return to how I played it the first time with a bunch of other folks where I was the librarian, but I think it was the previous edition and hadn't got the hang of how you did sort of psychic mental combat, so I just hit everyone. And then I amassed quite a stack of monsters before we all died horribly. It was cool. Yeah, he's done a lovely job. I'm very happy with it.
It would be wonderful. We've seen some folks, we've seen a character card for the Countess. For one of the book reviews. We certainly have no concerns if someone wanted to stat up the various characters in our books who aren't already present in things like the Investigator's Handbook, and we'll happily host those.
I am talking to someone about getting that done.
Wonderful.
Well, let's just see.
Let's
have rival character cards, because then we can try and translate them into Keyforge and have them battle each other.
Well, the mention of Keyforge says, of course, the Countess could turn up on Keyforge, as could anything else in the universe. The Crucible, that's a Crucible where elements of all the cultures that its mysterious alien builders have scooped up and so mostly plonked down, welded and sewn and seared together into the most extraordinary artificial planet at the very core of the universe. And it's a planet we, of course, explore in Tales from the Crucible. It's
Sorry, I muted the giant helicopters.
I know there are some folks who don't know that beyond the wonderful 2-player game that is Keyforge, absolutely innovative game mechanics and really rather wondrous characterization and a real atmospheric feel to the lore and the design and the artwork. There is an entire world in which it's set of the most extraordinary creatures, all trying to get along, with the exception of those evil gits, the Martians, who are very much in the flying saucer death ray mold. But everyone else pretty much trying to get along. Just mashed together. And indeed our stories perhaps may seem like a real potpourri of different slices of life. But to put together, they build a wonderful tapestry of this extraordinary world that is now being explored not just in the card game, but also in the Genesis Secrets of the Legends of the Crucible. Is it Legends of the Crucible rulebook?
Secrets of the Crucible RPG.
Oh, is it indeed? Oh, there we go. So I got that one wrong. Which I did see earlier today as an absolute rave review in the latest Tabletop Gaming magazine as well.
Nice. Well, Well, we tried that out a little bit, didn't you? Or at least Angeli did, with a whole bunch of the authors. Only the weekend before last at UK Games Expo, with a very successful Keyforge game, or a heist, wasn't it? Grand Theft Ember, which was splendid.
Yeah, tell us a bit about that. See if you can do it while chocolate falls out your mouth.
Move along.
No, that's what we want to hear about. That's the only thing we want to hear, isn't it, really?
Yeah, we can wait.
Come on, choke it down. You can do it.
Oh, red-faced lady.
Don't die on camera, though. That would be bad for all kinds of races.
Oh.
Well, what did we do? We played, Grand Theft Amber, which was a story that I wrote, sort of set before the anthology, which allowed all of the characters from the anthology to meet up at Quantum City, though not knowing each other, sort of getting thrown into a heist together. We made character stats for all of the main characters from the book, and the authors came along and played their characters, which was really good fun. And the book itself is will be hopefully sometime very soon. I'm just waiting to hear back from where it's going to be.
The adventure, you mean?
The adventure. No, my little tiny book of 30 odd pages. It will be available for free download, probably on the Foundry, which is FFG's Genesis system place to live, and Drive-Thru RPG as well. So that will be free to download with the character stats and the whole adventure. And in it as well, we tell you different ways that you can end the story, or you can continue the story on, or sort of slot it into your existing game that you might be playing, and some little adventure hooks that can take it further, depending on who your players are. So,
do you have a description of how you can wrap it up in 5 minutes because you realise that you're running out of time?
Don't do any combat.
It was
what I did.
It's a land of peace and togetherness, isn't it? So
it was very fun to watch. I can't remember which. You had 4 or 5 of the authors playing. It was really great.
Yeah, so we had Robbie McNiven, we had MK Hutchins, David Geimer, Tristan Palgram, and
Thomas Parrott.
Thomas Parrott. Sorry.
There you go.
And you just bought me a birthday present.
And your birthday present in return is forgetting your name. So it was a very busy game though, and I love that they were all playing their characters. That's what an amazing way to explore the short stories you've written.
Yeah, see, if only Charles Dickens had this available to him. Role-playing Magwitch on the launch party or something.
That'd be great for the interactive times. Yeah, that was really fun. I thought he gave a really nice other angles to the game. I don't play many card games. What I've really enjoyed in Keyforge is the artwork, which is nuts. And
was that only because I whooped your ass most royally?
Yeah, that made me very unhappy. I didn't understand what we were doing. I don't think. I'm not sure. Direct commentary is my forte. I like to win through other people's failure. I find that successful and pleasing. But what we use for cover is David Kegg's art for the first version of the first part of the game that came out. Because it's glorious. It just has all these just crazy things on. It's a lovely piece of work. It summarizes the Crucible perfectly. You got a great big giant dude, a Martian, lots of weird fancy elements, a guy with massive science fiction sword, robots, possibly carnivorous plants. What could you possibly want? It is the most perfect science fiction world that anyone's come up with, because it contains all other science fiction worlds. So that's a massive win. By definition, it wins.
How splendid. And of course, both these books, all good bookstores and hobby stores and online retailers, they'll be available on Drive-Thru, the RPG outlet, if you buy your stuff through them very shortly as well. And we'd love everyone to pick them up and tell us what they think. Scott, obviously, very kindly is already, we know, has a copy incoming. We'd love to hear from other folks. But more than anything, we just love you to pick them up. Let us know what you think. And if you love them, tell us. If you don't love them, tell us, and we'll make them even better. But after 18 months of planning and then negotiating and then plotting, strategizing, synopsizing, getting approvals on, and then commissioning, writing, rewriting, editing, proofreading, typesetting, designing, and not to mention all the art and all the promotional work that the gang have been doing, and all the back office. It's ridiculous. We've gone from nothing to this point after only 18 months. And well, another toast, I think, for the great success of Deck and I Books, and may there be many more.
Many more! Woo!
Many more! I just have to say a massive thank you to all of our authors as well for all of their hard work on these books. They worked so hard and they came up with such wonderful ideas. And I'm very, very lucky as an editor to get to work with such wonderful authors and wonderful people.
Oh.
So,
Oh,
They are lovely. I've not known them very long, but
they're all very lovely.
Delightful.
And now they shall go and write more books and more stories for you.
Yeah.
they certainly shall. Looking at how our publishing schedule is panning out, it's going to be quite lovely for everybody. We have all sorts of exciting stuff. Thank you, Scott. We agree. That's a lovely emoji for putting glasses together. It took me a moment to see it, and I thought it might have been spectacles.
Alas, Vince has missed this. I think he's in the same meeting I'm now due in. So I'm going to love you and leave you. I will see you later.
Alrighty, dude. I still got wine to drink. I'm going nowhere.
Agreed.
I think while we have wine to consume, we should keep going. I don't know. I really like the range of stories that we got on Tales from the Crucible, because they range from the like just the straight out battles. Because if you've not played Keyforge, it's a battle game, which is cool. But you don't necessarily get a sense, other than maybe some of the art, of quite how much more than just about punching things it is. There's so much, so deep.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of my favorite things is one reviewer and one podcaster described the first story in Keyforge, which is by Tristan Palmgren, as like that first perfect game of Keyforge, that first best game of Keyforge that you've ever played, and I absolutely love that. But you're right, like there's so much variety in all of these stories. We get, straight up battles, we get, fun adventures, we get soft, more sort of slower paced explorations of emotion and feeling.
Detective stories, properly hard-boiled ones with kind of soft-boiled characters, kind of a heist as well, which I do enjoy. Some weird introductions, mad scientists creating monsters.
Yeah, which is basically a love letter to kaiju movies. And then you get to find out what happens when you stick RPGers, LARPers, and basically historical reenactors onto a planet in the future, proving that like nerddom exists everywhere.
It does. Well, I think it's a smart enough world to get meta without it destroying the world, which is quite impressive. I'm very excited about doing more stuff on the Crucible and in Keyforge. Again, partly because I really like the artwork, which is what sucked me in. It's got that kind of Mars Attacks-y sort of vibe, bunch of Saturday morning cartoons, and I've got a lot of time for that. It's all drawn with such energy and enthusiasm.
Yeah.
So many bright colors and like glowing neon tech things, which I find very exciting to look at.
Yeah, I absolutely adore how brightly colored it all is in terms of artwork. Like so much science fiction at times we've seen is more, darker and grimmer and stuff like that. And, it's so bright and infused with life and enthusiasm, and also these more nuanced emotions, proving that you can be brightly colored and still be more nuanced. And that's something just I really love about it.
I think it is. It's hard to do a serious, complex world and also be free to be silly in it, which is definitely part of the aesthetic of Keyforge, and which you've taken a little bit in the stories, but it doesn't overtake. You can be deaf because the world is silly around us.
Yeah.
This world is not a sensible place, and why would a science fiction world be sensible? I really like it.
I love that. I was just, we get stories that are silly, but they're also doing serious things while being silly. Like if you look at The Librarian's Duel, which is M.K. Hutchins' story, which is really powerful exploration at times of emotion and human feeling, but it's also the story of how a librarian ends up as the kind of leader of a Brobnar gang and takes them back to the library. You've got giants, basically a giant biker gang in a library. That's never not going to be fun and stupid and silly.
Well, yeah, I really like that. Thank you, Scott. I think it's important that in order to explore a world, you have to have more than what the game itself is. We talked about a lot of our books in the past as how we view the universe is. The game of Keyforge exists in the universe of Keyforge, and our stories are another expression of that universe. They don't need to be a retelling of the game. The game already does that perfectly well. Why would we do it again? And the same is true in Arkham Horror, Legends of Five Rings, and all the Marvel worlds and everything else to come. Yeah, these things are multifaceted and can surprise us with how multifaceted they are. What I was going to say before we saw Scott's lovely comment. Ah, yay.
This is my favourite one. This is the Hypnopotamus.
Which sounds like something from the Wuzzles, which almost no one remember from the 1980s. Is that before your time, Lottie? I'll show you Wuzzles pictures later. You'll be delighted and horrified by them. A weird Disney thing. But yeah, this kind of artwork is delightful, and one of the great things about working with Fantasy Flight Games so closely on both this and Arkham Horror is having access to their entire archive of artwork, some of which you only see in tiny detail on the cards, and we've got the huge high-res files, and you look at them and go, that's both amazing and I'm laughing. I couldn't be happier pouring through it. Nice to get a preview of what's to come as well.
Yeah, it's been nice. I remember when we were in the office and we got some of the artwork, and you and I just going through it like, oh my god, this is so cool.
Seeing the Saurians early was pretty special.
Yeah, I love them. I love them very much.
We need a Saurian novel. I'm just saying you need to commission that and get it on it.
When I was trying to choose the artwork for the game, for the PDF, I was like, right, I'll choose 10 pictures. And I think I sent Nick over like a list of 50. I was like, I can't choose. I love all of them. So
it's difficult to emphasize how unhelpful that was in the process of putting that together.
I know. As I did it, I was like, he's going to kill me. Well,
thank goodness we aren't sharing an office currently. I can't actually get another seat around this table that you just fall over. It's propped up on paving slabs. It's not proper at all. But yeah, and I think I still had to go looking for the perfect one for the cover in the end.
Yeah,
it's just
I really
lovely.
love the one you chose for the cover. It's really cute and like, yay, we're on an adventure.
The thing that you guys can't see that we're talking about is really good.
Oh, let's see if I can I'll pull up. I can show because we've done it now, so I can show it off.
This is true. I think that should be fine and dandy, but it is also pretty. The same is true of the Arkham Horror art. It's such a massive archive of so many cards and so many, especially the card game. You look at all the tiny little card elements that there are, and also pretty, and bring all these characters to life. It's a real treat to have access to all that stuff, and a real privilege to get to play with it and look at it and go, oh, this is gorgeous, but it's not a book cover. I can use it as reference, but it's a tiny picture of someone's face or just a picture of a glass, which seems almost bonkers to spend so much time on, but they're so lovely. I'm so happy that we have them. You found it, you've broken it. I can see much looking.
No, it's fine. It's just my computer's very slow. It doesn't enjoy things happening on it. Oh, one.
Your face is now huge.
Yes. So this is the PDF. Oh, look how cute they are.
They really are. I'm trying very hard to remember the name of the artist who did that. It's on the first page. I can't remember exactly whose art that is. It's on the inside cover. The cover art is by Tidy Words, right in the middle of...
cover art, Marco Fielder.
Great. I can't see that from here, but yes, I'm sure that you've only mangled it slightly. But thank you, Marco. It's a lovely piece of art.
Yes. Thank you. Sorry, I messed up your name.
Don't give too much away. Good, blank screen. Win. Go back up, go back up. No, don't show too much off. It's lovely. You can download it when they need it. But yeah, it seems perfect for any kind of adventure. Can
I show off one of the character sheets very quickly?
All right.
We worked hard on this.
It's a splendid little RPG.
So this one is from Clint Werner's one. So it's a Martian, but we've made it really simple. So if you're not someone who's played the Genesis, like none of us were, it tells you what dice you need to roll at any time. So you don't actually have to do any thinking. You can just be like, yes, 3 green. And then the GM will give you the bad dice to put in with it. So you don't have to worry too much.
I was really pleased on watching you guys play it that I actually understood what was going on with the dice. which I didn't think I would because I've only played a bit of Edge of Empire, which is a Genesis before, and that was really fun. But I don't look at the dice much. I just roll, and our DM tells us if I'm dead, which is the kind of relationship that I want with dice.
Yeah, we used an online just a web page, and so you just put in the different colors that you had, 3 of this, 2 of this, 1 of that, and then press roll, and it would say this is a success, this is a failure, and then they just read that bit out, and we went with that.
That is about the right. That's right. So, how are we doing? Are we going to wrap up? I guess by showing the book up again. Really, I suppose.
Yeah, let's wrap up by showing the books because then we do have another meeting.
Let's show. Yeah, we're meeting everybody else, aren't we? So you have a choice of buying one or both. The correct answer is both, obviously. You can have Tales of Cosmic Dread and adventuring against beasts from beyond in Rathanakai, or you can have a science fiction adventure of a million possibilities with almost every kind of story contained therein in Tales from the Crucible. They're both brilliant. They're both lovely. They're available in the USA and Canada in paperback today and in ebook literally everywhere in the world. So you should get one, both, maybe all 4, which is one of each format for each book. And that will make us happy.
And then take pictures of them out in the wild.
Yeah, do. If you got an animal in your house, put it on the animal's head and take a picture. It's good.
That's always a winner.
It's what the world needs, really, more pictures of animals and books. So do those things. And in less than a month, we have even more books.
Even more books?
Oh, which is amazing. It just keeps going. It really does. Oh, yeah, is that your thing? Mark's face
it will go out later in more
there.
detail. But
that picture of Mark is the best thing I've seen in some time.
Ever. Yeah.
I feel like we should just make this Mark's profile picture everywhere now.
You know, I think I can enforce that. I'm an admin.
Do it.
Good. Let's do that. All right. In that case, I think we're about wrapped up for our bubbly adventures, aren't we, for today?
Definitely.
Thank you for joining us for a bit of madness.
Thank you very much. Buy the books. Buy all the books. Buy them for your friends. Buy 4 copies of each one. Do it. That's how you sell books.
Right. We'll see. Thank you.